Hi, the lock I have for you today is the Picard Vigie. This lock, the body is the Picard Trident, which contains the Picard Vigie lock. This lock is in fact branded Heracles. However, you have to know that Heracles is a company which more or less don't manufacture locks and sell locks from other company with putting its brand on it. So you can easily find some Heracles lock which are in fact DOM IX, for example. So here, this is a Picard lock, but with a key which is slightly different from the Picard one. Here you have the Picard one. The groove here has no need. In fact, it's not used and does nothing. The main difference between the two is that, as you can see here, you have a groove here. You don't have on the Heracles key, which makes the Picard key a little bit more restrictive. But this is the only difference. Everything is more or less the same, and the locking mechanism inside and this lock body is completely the same, except one part which is different for the shape of the key. So this lock is a lock which probably is called Trident because there is 3 locks. It's used to lock a system by 3 points. So it means that there is a stem which will lock at the top of the door here with the bar, at the bottom of the door here, and on the side of the door with this 3 system. This is a single rotation keying system. So you can see here when it's closed, I turn just one and come back, and you can control the latch like that too, or with the system. So here is the locking mechanism. I will start to disassemble this lock. So while I disassemble, we can talk about a little bit about the technology in this lock. This is in fact a Brahma style lock. If you have seen the video about the FT lock I made previously, you will recognize a lot of the features which are common to these 2 locks. However, this one has much more protection against picking than the others. So here is the internal. So you have the exterior barrel here, which is made of steel to protect against drilling and all this kind of attack, which is quite, to reach the lock, there is quite some thickness to drill if you want to reach the inside. So the system is quite simple. You can see here the sliders already, but I will disassemble the system to show you more clearly. So like any Brahma locking system, you have the lock, you have the ring which engage with the sliders, and you have the sliders. The main difference with this lock compared to other standard Brahma system is that it works on both sides. And compared to most of the locking system in this category, the inside and the outside part of the lock have the same security. And in fact, it is exactly the same system on both sides which is controlled. So you can see if I take the key here, you can see that here I'm in the interior part. I can put the key, I push because it's pump lock, and then it will turn. If the sliders are not set correctly, the ring here with the gates will prevent the rotation. On the other side, I can put in it and rotate, and it's the same system. So in fact, it's exactly the same core, the same wall system for inside and outside. Everything is connected to a single system. So I will remove the the protection here. So we'll be able to see the interior of the exterior part of the lock. Perfect. So the main difference when I was talking about the Picard and the Heracles version is that this small piece here has just a small pin on the side here, which goes in this groove here, and which prevent the access for keys like the Heracles one, but will work with the Picard one. So the locking mechanism is very simple. I will show you later by removing the ring. So when I put it in, we can see here the sliders here, which are moving. So we can see some security part already. Hard to see, but here I push. All the gates align around the ring, and the system can rotate. So we'll take a look at it more closely, and for that I will remove the cylinder. The ring, I mean. So here we are. So we can see here what I call the ring, which has some gates here, and you can see on some gates here, and you can see that on the side near the gate you have some not as deep groove, and they are false gates. So you will have some false gate in the sliders too, which will be able to pass that part, and you will fall in a false set, but will not be able to rotate completely. So here I push, and you can see all the sliders are set correctly. So all the groove align, and the system, the ring, can rotate when it's in it. So I will disassemble the rest of the lock, so we will be able to see exactly how it looks. So I take this pen and I push. I have to be careful because there is a very strong spring. So here it is. So here are the sliders. So as you can see, like any Brahma style lock, the sliders are made of two pieces of steel. In fact, it's a single piece of steel which is bent. And one of the advantages of this way of doing is that the sliders will have this springy effect. And what it does is that when it's in the groove here, it will not move by gravity. It will force against the wall of the grooves, and it will prevent it from moving, because when you enter the key, the spring system which keeps all the sliders up will be pushed by the tip of the key, and then all the sliders will be free to move. And these systems allow to ensure that the sliders will not move by themselves, or just because there is a small friction somewhere. So this is kind of standard things. Now, regarding the security, what we have here is two kind of system to prevent or to make picking more difficult. The first one is here. I don't know if we have some, I can say it's like in fact serration in a standard pin. So it's very small grooves, and when you will try to pick it, when you will push, it will have the same effect that serrated pins in a standard lock. And then you have the false gate here, which are the small grooves. So this false gate will be able to engage directly with the groove here on the borders, which are not as deep as the true gates here. So when you will use them, you will have a false set. And the thing is, it will be kind of a false set. You will move quite a lot, and you will need to really rotate back the core to be able to pass to the next gate. Something important here with this kind of lock is that when you want to pick it, you have first to push the main spring, which keeps all the pins up. Once you have done that, then the pins can move freely. So there is no more spring pushing on each individual slider. This means that when you probe for the binding slider, if you push on it, it will move and will not come back. So you need to have tools to be able to push the sliders, but to get them and to put them too. Or you will not be able to pick them, or it will be extremely difficult, and you will have tendencies to overset the slider very easily. So, but there is something interesting, is that when you are in the false set, what will be good for you as a picker is that since there is no spring pushing back on each individual sliders, when you will counter rotate to skip to the next gate, to leave the false gate to go to another gate, hopefully a true one, then none of the other sliders will move. They will remain in the normal position. So this is one of an issue you will not have with this kind of system. So last but not least, something interesting in this lock, because you have seen that when I opened the lock, everything went out very easily because of the very strong spring. In fact, what you can see here it's 3 dots, and you have other sliders which will have, for example, like this one, 4. And what is interesting, it's this number is the position of the slider in the system. So it's 3, 1, 2, 3, it goes here. 4 goes here. So it will be really easy to reassemble the lock. When I say easy, not so much, because without the tools they use in the production to assemble this lock, it's really an headache to be able to put the spring back and all the sliders inside, because unlike other system like that, usually you put your sliders, you put your spring system on the back, because it moves in only one direction and works from only one direction for a key. But here, the system works in both directions. So you have to put really the whole springing system between these two parts here. And it's kind of really difficult. One thing I haven't talked about is that the system works on both sides. So you can use from the interior of the door or the exterior. And so you can see you have two locking systems here. You have the exterior one, and here you have the interior one, with each one has its serration, its false gate, and its true gate. So we have one true gate here and one true gate here. Naturally, they are not the same inside and outside because the key is reversed. So that's all I have for you today. If you are interested in having a lock like that, you can check my eBay store. I may have some of them for you. And you can follow me on Facebook too if you want to see more video, or on YouTube, because I will post the video on YouTube. But on Facebook, there are more pictures and things like that about cool French and German locks. So thank you very much and see you next time.